Hey, my name is Shelly, and this is my channel, Shell Space. So today's video is kind of going to be like a cleanup video for me. I have been getting caught up in a lot of hype of series and reading series that I haven't really been enjoying. Even though I made a 24 series to start in 2024, I've actually read some of those series and DNF some of those series. Since it's been like 6 months since that video came out, I thought I would make a revised version of it, and these are series that I want to prioritize for the remainder of the year. These are series that I keep thinking about. These are series that I've started or want to start. I think actually majority of them are started series. So these are the series that I need to prioritize for the rest of the year. And some of them are large series. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of them are huge. So I have 10 series I want to talk about today with 2 honorable mentions. So let's get the honorable mentions out of the way. So the first honorable mention that I would like to mention is Jim Butcher, the Dresden Files. You know what? I actually DNF'd this series, and I made a whole freaking video about it, talking about how I was going to DNF the series, and I went back on myself, and it's a good thing that I didn't unhaul this video, because I actually had a big pile of books that I was going to unhaul sitting in my basement, which I never actually took, but this is one of them that was going to get unhauled. But I don't know why. I think I saw somebody talking about it, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to give it a second chance. And I did, and I'm currently reading Grave Peril right now. I don't think it's going to be a priority among the ones I'm going to mention. This will be a nice, like, in-between series because it is urban fantasy, and I need to mix up my genres a little bit because I've been reading a lot of epic fantasy lately and getting a little burnt out. So this is a nice, like, palate cleanser in-between series. My next honorable mention is the Sun Eater series, and I need to read Demon in White, and I've tried reading the series so many times. So many times. The thing is, like, I think I need to read it physically, but when I read it physically, my brain, I can't, there's something about the voice or the tone of the narration that I just can't click with, and for some reason my brain, my ADHD brain just can't follow through with it, so I don't know, so I have to listen to the audiobook. The problem is I have trouble with the audiobook as well. But I really want to get to the series because it is a beloved series and everybody keeps talking about it, and I have FOMO. That's where I stand right now on this. This is like a maybe, but I'm really trying to get into it. All right, so let's get to the top 10. None of these books are in any particular order. I'll just grab whatever is on the pile first. So the first one is the Dandelion Dynasty. I recently read Wall of Storms, I think it was March. And I really had a good time. I had some issues with it. I think I really do need to be in the right mindset to read this world. But honestly, Ken Liu is just such a master. And he has created something very special, very unique. And I really do want to continue on with the series. I want to see how it ends. So this is a priority for the rest of the year. I do hope to read The Veiled Thrones in June or July. Honestly, my May TBR is piling up. My June TBR is piling up. I would need to get this read. So I'm aiming to read this in the summertime. So the next one on my list, it's been on my, I really need to get back into. I read a lot of the series, but honestly, you'll understand when I show it. I need to finish the Tawny Man trilogy. The Live Ship Traders is one of my favorite series of all time. I absolutely loved it. I had the best time, but I do struggle with the Fist stories. I do appreciate a lot about it, but I want to know. And I heard this book in particular really breaks it down and breaks your heart and smashes into bazillion pieces, and I think I'm ready for it. I think I'm finally ready to take the plunge and finish the last book in the Tawny Man trilogy. So this I want to prioritize. I want to finish this before summer because I want to start the Rain Wild Chronicles in the summertime at my cottage, because that's where I started the Live Ship Traders, and I felt that it was just the best reading experience. So this is a goal to finish before July. The next one is a series that I know I'm going to get to, and that is The Dark Forest. This is the continuation of the 3-Body Problem. I know I'm going to be reading this very soon because I have a buddy read with my friend V. I think we're going to probably pick it up in a couple weeks whenever our schedules open up and, you know, the stars align and whatever. So we're going to get to this soon I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook. And yeah, I am very curious to see what happens, because The Three-Body Problem was a very interesting book, but I heard that this one just, I don't even know what to expect with this one, but I'm very excited to see what happens. So the next book I want to prioritize, I've been talking about for a really long time, and I still haven't picked it up because distractions, whatever. So I'm swiping away these distractions, and I'm going to be picking up The 12 Kings in Sharakhai. I really, really want to get to the series. I own all of them in hardcover. They're like right there. So I really I want to get to it. And honestly, I love desert settings. I do. I really love desert settings. I love Jinn. I love that whole like Middle Eastern magic culture. So I really want to get to this ASAP. I've said this like about every one of them. I want to read it by the summertime. So this summer is going to be busy. So the next one, I don't know why, but I really feel like I need to prioritize this, and that is Magic Bites by Alona Andrews. Listen, this is the Kate Daniels series, and this is like an urban fantasy. It's ongoing, and it is a married couple duo writing team. I really think I need to get back into urban fantasy. Urban fantasy was like one of my first loves, you know, thanks to Buffy, it was one of my first loves. So I want to get back into that. And I kind of jumped between this one and the Marcy Thomas series by Patricia Briggs, but I feel like this one may speak to me a little bit more. So I've actually already started. I'm on the second chapter, and it's okay so far. I've actually heard that this is like probably the weakest in the series, and it just gets better. So that's what I'm hoping for. So between this and the Dresden Files, I think I'll be covered for urban fantasy for the year. The next one I want to talk about is Eliza Loch-Lamora by Scott Lynch. I'm flexing because I got the Broken Binding edition, and it looks so good. And because I got the Broken Binding edition, it makes me want to prioritize the series, even though, sorry, I'm so distracted by this shininess, I can't think. I've been putting this series off for quite some time. I'm going to put the cover on because it's a little shiny. So I've been continuing the series because I did start, I don't know when I read it. I read it recently. So I did read the first book. I kind of been putting it on a hold because, you know, like the whole, when's the next one going to be released? So I'm like, you know what, just read the story and see what everybody's talking about, because it just looks good. And especially after seeing these, like, what is it called, insert covers, just makes me want to read it even more. So yeah, I'm prioritizing this series this year. Okay, I'm sorry if the lighting changed or the angle changed or whatever. I was literally walking away when I remembered that I wanted to include these two series on my list. Okay, so the first one is The Bound of the Broken by Ryan Carhill. I read Of Blood and Fire twice already, and it was an okay read. But then I read The Fall, which is the novella that it's like the prequel novella, and it was just so well written. Not to mention that everybody who talks about the series says it just gets better and better. Even though the first book wasn't as solid, the series is just beloved, and it is like a mix between like Lord of the Rings and Aragon, and very heavily influenced by John Gwynne. There's dragons in it, so you can't go wrong with dragons. If you like all of those, I highly recommend checking out the series. I'm going to continue on with Darkness of Light, and I'm actually going to be buddy reading this with Taylor from May Between the Pages. We were supposed to read this months ago, but life got in the way and we just couldn't get our schedules together, but I believe we're going to try for the end of May. And if not, the end of May, the beginning of June. So it's happening, and it's happening soon. The next series that I want to prioritize for the rest of the year is Jenny Warts' War of Light and Shadows series, the first being The Curse of the Mist Wraith. The way that it's promoted, like her writing, her purple prose, her epic world building, her very thought-provoking plots and character development, it really makes me want to pick this up immediately. I have read The Daughter of the Empire by Jenny Warts and Raymond E. Feist, and it wasn't for me. There were some issues with it, but I did appreciate a lot of the writing. So I definitely want to pick it up soon, especially since the last book is coming out, I believe, this May. So the 11th and final book is coming out this May. So the best time to pick it up is now. So I'm definitely going to be picking up the first book in the near future. It is a priority. Second last one I want to talk about is The Symphony of Ages by Elizabeth Hayden. I've talked about the series a lot. I finished the first trilogy, so now I want to start the second trilogy. So that is my goal for this year. I think I will only plan to read the trilogy at a time, take a little bit of a break. So yeah, I want to read the next trilogy by the end of the year is my goal. Will it happen? I don't know. But as you can see, I started this 20 years ago. And I stopped. And you know how I know it was 20 years ago? This is really funny. This is my bookmark. Oh my God, this movie tanked. But yeah, I'll have to double check to see when this actually came out. But yes, I went to go see, I think it was like a special preview, so I got this bookmark. And yeah, it's been in this book on page 155 for 20 years. So I think it's time to read this book. So the last series I want to talk about, I don't actually own the copy of, but I'll just hold up this copy here, and that is Joe Abercrombie's First Law. I recently just finished The Last Argument of Kings and had a really fabulous time. So the next one up is Best Served Cold, and I'm going to be reading that. And I want to read, I aim to do this, but I don't know if it's going to, a book a month. And if I could do that, I would be really happy because I really want to complete the series. So if I read a book a month, I should finish the series by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. So yes, that is my last priority read. Oh, that's a lot of series. I don't know what I'm doing to myself. I'm going to hate myself later for making this video. I'm like, why do you keep making these videos? Those are the series that I want to prioritize. I cannot be distracted by shiny objects anymore. I made this video so I would watch it and I'd be like, no, that's what you need to read. No more shiny objects. Anyways, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any priority series? I'd love to hear them. You can find me on Instagram and Goodreads and my buddy Read Discord. Link is down below. It's a brand new Discord channel. It's small, but honestly, there's a lot of awesome people there and it's a really great environment. So I highly recommend it. If you want to check it out, it's free to join. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, maybe leave a stack of books because I always have a stack of books with me. If you like this video, think about liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!